I said, I'm Zach. I'm kind of just talking about my 3 businesses that I own and operate here in Columbia, and then kind of how I got started, how I got there, where we're heading, and then kind of just opened up for questions for you guys. So the first company I'm going to talk about is Girard Homes. This was the first one that I opened here in Columbia. In the beginning, so I'm from Melbourne, Florida. I moved up here to go to the University of Missouri. I started there in 2012, and in 2013 I got my real estate license and became licensed with Century 21 Advantage. And for a while I was just going to kind of do like general real estate, do it on the side of the classes and see if I could make some extra money that way. It didn't really work out the way that I thought it would. It's a little bit difficult to break into general real estate just like that, but not really knowing anybody like in the market that you're trying to sell houses in and work in and that kind of stuff. So I was in that for a while. I kind of just used that time to do a lot of like market research. I researched home builders in the area, what other agents were doing, kind of got a feel for the local real estate market. My family's always been in home building, so I'm actually like a 3rd generation home builder. My grandfather built homes with Ryan Homes. My mom started a home building company right out of college, and she built homes and still builds homes today in Florida and Texas markets. So it's kind of an easy transition, and I had a good mentor there to kind of bounce ideas off of and know what I should be doing, where I should be looking, what I should be researching, and that kind of stuff. So I kind of, like I said, I spent those first couple of years at Mizzou, going to classes, getting my gen eds out of the way, and then kind of researching the local market too. And honestly, at that time, I didn't really know that I wanted to go into like home building or real estate or even business for that much. When I actually first started at Mizzou, I started out as an animal science major, and I wanted to go to vet school. And then I got into all that, and I kind of decided, well, I don't really want to do that. So then I looked at, well, maybe I'll just go to med school. Looked at that, and like, that's a lot of school and way too much, and I'm done with all that. So I went and got into the business school over there, and really started focusing my time on where I wanted to be in life, where I wanted to go. Kind of to touch on one thing you said earlier at the beginning of this too, is like, how you get to where you want to go isn't as important as like knowing where you want to be and where you want to end up. So that's almost where I started with all of this, is with that end goal in mind, knowing like where I want to be when I'm 25 years old, when I'm 30 years old, when I'm 35 years old. If you can figure that out, a lot of times the path to there is going to roll out in front of you, or you're going to have a much easier time figuring out how to get there. Because you're going to be focused on that end goal, and you're going to realize there's several opportunities that are going to come up and different paths you can take to get there. So, yeah, so 2 years into school, I built my first house in Columbia, and I really built it kind of more as just a fun project, still not really knowing that I wanted to go into the home building business full time. I built it in a community in Columbia called Bristol Lake, and I rented the bedrooms out to my roommates at the time, and it was fun. We lived there for about a year, and I sold it. We made a profit on the house, and that's kind of when I really realized, like, hey, this is a really cool business. It's really fun to take a piece of dirt and take it all the way through the home building process and turn it into a big, beautiful house that somebody can live in, somebody can raise a family in, or somebody can come and retire in. And that's actually some photos of that first house. So kind of how we set up in Columbia was to be something different. We knew a lot about like what the existing home builders in Columbia were doing, and so we knew we wanted to be different. And that was actually a little bit easier for us than it sounds, because we get a lot of like inspiration on the design side out of Florida and Texas markets, which tend to be ahead of the Columbia market. Columbia tends to be a very traditional market as far as like home style goes and floor plan layouts and all that kind of stuff. So the goal starting out was always to be doing something different, doing something a little bit outside the box, and hopefully today you'll kind of get that from some of the photos that I showed you. Yeah, I kind of started touching on strategy. So really being different is what our goal was from the beginning, and how we knew that we were going to set ourselves apart. So this was actually our first model home in Columbia. For those of you that don't know what a model home is, most people in the Midwest don't, or especially in Columbia, don't know what a model home is, but it's a place where a builder builds a nice fancy house with a lot of options and upgrades, and it kind of showcases their abilities and their design trends and what they're able to do. And up until the time that we opened the model home in Columbia, there really weren't any home builders that had a model home. So this model home was open 7 days a week. I was out there selling houses as a salesperson, and that really allowed our clients and customers to come in and meet with us face to face, and us to be very accessible to our clients and customers, which was something that was also brand new to the market. In Columbia, you have a lot of great home builders. They build a really quality home, but they don't have that accessibility that we have. They build a lot of what we call spec homes. So a spec home is something that you're building with the intention to complete and then list on the market. Whereas we're doing a lot of what we call is like to-be-built sales or custom homes. So a lot of times, like, our clients are sticking with one of our 20-25 set floor plans that we kind of have pre-designed, and they might be changing things a little bit, tweaking things a little bit to make it their own. But they start that floor plan, and then they actually go out to our design center, which I'm going to touch on a little bit later too. That's at our furniture store, and they pick all their interior selections, exterior selections, basically every detail of their home. They get to select and pick with the design team out there, and that gives them that very custom feel. It gives them a custom home that's very tailored to their liking and their taste and their style, without having to go through the entire process of designing a plan from scratch, working with an architect, which can be time consuming and have a lot of meetings. So yeah, home building side, we're going into our third year right now. Actually, we're going on to our fourth year. We're at like 3.5. But anyways, this year's really the first year that we've kind of, I guess, exploded or really seen a lot of significant growth in Columbia. This year already we sold more custom homes than any home builder in Columbia. And again, that really comes from having that accessibility to the client. So we've been building in Columbia for about 3 years. The model home concept's really starting to catch on. There's a lot of like education that we had to do with the Columbia home buyer on what the model home is and how it can benefit them, and what just even being open 7 days a week, that was a new concept. So now that that word's out there and people see kind of our design trends and ideas and get to go through some of our houses and see our happy clients, I think that's really what's kind of propelling us this year. It was a lot of fun. We're up to, I think, 10 sales this year. Effectively do 20 sales and probably about 15 closings, which is pretty good for a market with Columbia size. Of course, we're always going to keep going past that. These are just some photos of like job sites and different things that we've done. That top left one is what we call like the corner sliding glass door. And that's actually in our Gates model home right now, which is a community that's like south of Columbia. We were the first builder to bring like that whole unit up here into the Midwest. It's made by Western Window. They actually came out and did a little install and everything, but that whole corner actually slides all the way apart, and I think there's photos of it later on too, but it's really cool because it brings that whole outdoor living space like right into your home. So on a really nice day in the fall, spring, those times of the year, you slide those doors all the way apart, and it's like you have a whole other living space right there. So some growing pains. A lot of people in business especially think that it's like this consistent path to success. So they think that you open this business and you get rolling, you get your people out there, you get going in whatever business it's going to be, whether it's selling supplements or building houses or even just being a general real estate agent. They think the path to success is like this, but in reality your path to success looks like this, and as it goes all over, hopefully positively trending up is your goal. But there's always going to be growing pains. And even today, as soon as we get a problem fixed or a growing pain fixed, there's something else that pops right back up. So it's just like, it never really ends. But especially like being young in the business and opening a new home building company in Columbia and really getting the process set up from zero to where we are today has been a 3-year process. And it's largely due to the amount that in the construction process, so that you can kind of see like a schedule over there. That's the end of our schedule. There's 490 steps to building a house. So we've broken them all down, every little individual step, and put it onto a big spreadsheet, which we use for our schedule. So between the 490 steps that it takes to build a house, and then our selection sheet, which this is the first page of the selection sheet, there's 15 pages to the selection sheet. So these are all the items that the customers have to pick and decide and choose before they build a house. So you have a 15-page selection sheet, 490 step process. Managing that alone can be a logistical nightmare. So having these really set processes and procedures that have been tried and tested, that's really where the majority of like our growing pains have stemmed from. Now that we have everything lined up, this summer was the first time that's really like been very fun to kind of watch the business grow and move and change, because we have a lot of the right people that have been with us for a year, 2 years now. They're getting really in tune to the process and really understanding the process in full, and then giving those customer expectations up front has really allowed us to kind of make this process very smooth, and it just flows really well. Yeah, so we just bought 22 lots out in this Breckenridge Park community, which is a brand new community in Columbia. It was 74 phase 1, which I think another 72 lots in phase 2, something like that.
Is it on the south side of town?
It's like at the end of Smith Drive, so it's
Off Scott?
yeah,
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
It's kind of like southwest Columbia, but yeah, it's brand new out there. This is the first time that we've really purchased a big chunk of lots in Columbia. In other markets, and my family's done it in Florida and Texas markets, of course, but this is also kind of a different concept for Columbia because a lot of times builders are going in and they're picking 1 or 2 lots and they're building spec home, listing on the market, getting out there for sale. We bought or contracted to buy all these 22 lots before the community was even developed, and now we have a model home out there, and we're really working hard to sell through all of these lots. That's had its own struggles and its own accessible piece. So the 22 lots, we're required to buy all those lots within, I think, a year and a half or 2 years, which is kind of risky for the Columbia market, but so far we're selling through them pretty quickly. I think we're already through about 8 of them. We have another year and a half on that. We just opened them out on that too, so kind of a different direction for us, but it's been a lot of fun. We just hired on a new salesperson that's going to be working on it too. So a little bit about our team at Girard Homes. We have a team of 8 right now. My parents are both very involved. They're back there. My brother's involved in the company too. He lives up here in Columbia. And then we have another few people that work in office and accounting, another salesperson, an office manager. And then we have Tank. It's my brother's dog. He's at the office every single day. Loves to sit in on the meetings. He's not very productive, but and then these are kind of just some photos of like houses that we built across Columbia. That kitchen over there, one of my favorites, just because it has this huge island. So this also kind of goes back to like construction in general and just some of like the things, the growing things that you see with them. But last year we actually had a house that on a Friday afternoon, the plumber connected all the fixtures for the house. We left the house, and by Saturday morning the entire house had plumbed. And this house was scheduled to close in like a week. So the clients were already getting their insurance lined up, everything was scheduled. Well, by Friday evening, that connection to the toilet had busted, and the whole thing was flooded by the time we got there Saturday night. So this set this whole project back about 2 months. You can imagine the clients were pissed off. I wasn't happy. But we had to actually go in, rip up all that wood flooring, rip up all the baseboard, cut all the drywall like 4 feet up. So it's just kind of one of those things, there's so many parts in construction that are moving and constantly changing, and then you have things like this that happen that you realize as a home builder, as a general contractor, your main job is really just problem solving. That's pretty much what I do all day long is solve problems. Whether it be trying to figure out how to get customers flooring here on time, that was ordered late, whether it was back shipped, or fixing a house that
So obviously you lost money because it set you back, but did the plumber's insurance pay for that, or is that all you?
No, that's the plumber's insurance. So every job site that we build to has like its own builder's risk policy, which would protect us if the plumber's insurance isn't covered. But since that was an error on the plumber, we want to make that his insurance. If his insurance wasn't going to cover it, then the house actually had a builder's risk policy on it that says if something was like this was to happen and nobody's insurance was picking it up or could get it to happen, or it was a natural disaster, that kind of thing, then they would fund us to rebuild the house back to that original state when the disaster. This is our current model home in the Gates. We've been out, this is actually about a 2-year-old model home right now. We're working on selling it and opening up our brand new model in Breckenridge Park. But that's that corner slider I was talking about. Again, it's just kind of one of the things that we strive to do things differently and provide an experience for our customers that's different than what they can already achieve in Columbia. It's the dining room of that house. Kitchen, lot of our floor plans have like a really nice open concept to them, so your kitchen kind of is tucked back in this corner usually, and then you have an open family room, an open dining room, that could be dining, study, nice flex space. Master bedroom. Nice big master bath. This is the basement of that model home. Those big pillars that are lit up, they're empty right now, or in this photo, but that's actually a whole wine cellar. So now that it's fully decorated and finished and everything, there's actually 2 wine barrels in there with glass tops that you can sit at. And it's fully stocked with wine. And that has actually its own climate control system. So that was something that we've never done before. It was brand new to this house, brand new to this market, but it's had a lot of good feedback so far. So that kind of brings us into like the next business that I opened here in Columbia, which is Jasany Home. It's an interior design and furniture store. We've been open about a year at our current location, and actually it was like a year last week. So kind of the neat thing about this business and Girard Homes is we have them really well tied together. So all of our clients that are building a house with us, I showed you guys that selection sheet at the beginning, that they have to go and they have to complete all that, and they have to fill all that out. They're actually going out to the design center at Jasany Home, which we built in the back of the furniture store, which has all of the selections that they would need for a house. So it has granite countertops, your cabinet samples, your flooring samples, your flooring fixtures. Basically every item that you'd ever need to look at to design a house is all in one space. So this is something that really starts setting us apart from the other Columbia home builders. When a customer can purchase a home at Girard Homes, head out to our design center at Jasany Home, and they can pick every single aspect of their home, usually within 2 design center meetings at the design center all in one space. That's huge because one of the biggest things that prevents people from building a home in Columbia right now is that if they build with another builder, they have to go to a cabinet shop, to a flooring shop. There's about 20 meetings that they have to set up on their own outside of the builder just to design every aspect of their home. And when you have to go to 20 meetings across 20 different places, you kind of lose track of what you picked where, how much that's costing, number 1, number 2, is it all going to come together really well? So this really provides our clients with that full experience where they're actually getting a designer who's helping them tie everything together, bring everything together. And then on the back side of that too, once their house is completed, they've got the opportunity to go back to the furniture store. The designer's going to do a full furniture layout for them, help them purchase furniture, help them find the furniture that fits their style, and that's obviously helping our furniture store sales too. So this was what the store looked like when we first started our lease about a year and a half ago. This was our first commercial project that we've ever managed, which was fun. It was a little bit different, but we actually had to take down, it was actually 2 units that we combined together. So this side was the first unit, on this side was the other unit. We took that whole wall out, put 2 floating walls in, put brand new floors down, brand new paint, brand new drywall, sprayed the ceilings. It was a lot different than residential construction. There were a lot more hoops and loops that you have to jump through to make the city happy, but it was fun. And this is just kind of more photos of the furniture store. So kind of like that path to success that I was talking about, every business has its challenges. I don't think that you're going to open a business or start a business and just see constant success. There's always going to be something that comes up that you're either not going to proceed or it's going to just make your life a little difficult. In this case, with the furniture store, our location is very challenging. We have great visibility off of Highway 70. So obviously 70 is running right here. You can see us from 70 right here going both directions. But once people get off 70, it's very tough to get them down Vanderbilt and then down Asphalt to find the store at the end of this building. So location's huge. It's caused us to become really good with our marketing dollars and where to spend them, how to spend them, and really analyzing those, which has also helped the other businesses that we're working on too, because we can better target customers, better drive that business, whether it's our model homes or any real estate business. That's our biggest challenge there right now. Other than that, everything's moving pretty smoothly. I'd say our main focus out there is really getting these big interior design jobs. So our designers are out there 7 days a week, the store's open. So they're meeting clients that are coming to the store, they're liking the furniture, liking the style, and then from there we offer free in-home design. So if they wanted to work with a designer, that designer's actually going to go out to their home, set up, take measurements, put together a full floor plan for them, lay out all new furniture arrangements for them, and then they'll actually come back at the end after they do purchase furniture and help them set it all up, everything like that too. So that in its own is another kind of unique experience for the Columbia market. A lot of furniture stores that you go to in the market aren't going to come out to your home, they're not going to measure your space, they're not going to look at what you have and try to incorporate that into your spaces. And they definitely aren't going to do it for free. If they do it, they're going to be charging for it. So we're really focused on making money off of that as a selling furniture off of those design jobs. That's our team out there. It's actually grown a little bit since that photo too, but the two blonde ladies are designers. Justin's our store manager, he also does design. And then we have an office staff. My brother's in there. Third business is Boulder Realty. So this has been open about 7 months now. This is our general real estate brokerage. So like I said earlier on, I got licensed when I was a freshman in college, and I maintained my license that whole time, so I opened my own general brokerage. That way we could kind of play all three of these brands together was really the goal. So the brokerage helps our clients that are looking to buy or build a new home. They'll actually sell their existing home at a discount, get them closer, like they'll help them purchase a lot, find a lot, and get them kind of one step closer to building a home. So the goal with all three of these brands is to really have them working together, in motion together, and that's kind of where it's really started to get fun. So we strive to be that one-stop shop. Like I said, when a client comes to a model home and they have a house to sell, the brokerage helps them sell their existing home, purchase their lot, and then they go into the home building company. We help them design their floor plan, pick all their selections. The furniture store helps them pick all their selections. And then we get the house started, and while it's under construction, they're then back working with the designers on what they're going to do for furniture in the house, how they're going to do it, looking exactly the way they want it to look. This was just a new listing that we got. It's 18.42 acres, 850,000. So outside of new construction, we're also soliciting these general real estate listings, which has also been kind of a fun thing that I really just jumped into this year. But it's a little bit different in the fact that you're going out and you're finding these clients that have property to sell, that want to buy property. It's a completely different process from the home building company, but you get to list cool stuff like that. So I'm actually helping them go through kind of like the development process right now too. They've been at Crockett Engineering, they're working on breaking it up into these 2-acre tracts. If we can't sell it as 1 acre parcel, then we're going to break it up into 2 acres, and we're going to sell it that way. So kind of reverts back to that, being able to solve problems and problem solving skills is a huge part of running a business and managing a business.
Where's that located?
That is also off of Smith Drive, again, Smith Drive. So Breckenridge Park is going to be like these lots right over here. It's this piece right here. And then the Louisville Park, I think, is up there. Just a photo from the design center. The designers helping to the home builder clients actually put furniture into their house and place furniture, put together the furniture with us. So yeah, that's kind of what I had to talk about. I don't know if you guys have any questions.
I got a few.
All right.
So, I mean, first thing that jumps out to me is how much knowledge you're going to have in so many different areas to be running. I mean, obviously they all work together and they all support each other, but I mean, that's a lot. I mean, so I'm just wondering how much of it did you learn growing up, being around that kind of environment? How much of it did you have to learn as you're solving these problems yourself and kind of learning on the fly? And how much of it was kind of delegating and letting people who are experts in this area kind of run this while I kind of oversee and make sure it's all following that vision?
Yeah, absolutely. So the home building company, like I said, I grew up, I'm a third generation home builder, so I did have some experience there. It's not as intense as a lot of people think. I mean, my mom and dad would go to work, they'd be managing job sites, my mom would be managing business, and we would hear about that work day and that kind of stuff. But as far as physically like getting out there and managing a job site that I'd never done that before. I had worked with my mom in the sales side of things a little bit, so I had some experience there, which was really my main focus. Is still my main focus when I started on the side. That's kind of what I do day to day, is really sales and marketing. And I have a lot of good people that come from, I don't know, run the other side of the business, but they're there to take over those tasks in the business. So experience-wise, there was still a huge learning curve with Girard Homes. Managing those first few job sites was complicated, and it takes a lot of time and knowledge that I just didn't have in general. So I was constantly calling my mom and dad, asking them how to do things. So it was really great to have them as mentors to help me see that through. The furniture store side, this is something that's like brand new. So this was a whole other industry that I had to really learn, and I'm still learning it today. I learned every single day in all three of those, but that's probably had the biggest learning curve, just because there's so much on the backside of the furniture industry and furniture sales, and what you do and how you get vendors and the deals that you work out with those vendors, that kind of thing. So out there we had somebody that was pretty experienced in the industry. Justin Wilson, who's our store manager. He really runs that day to day. I kind of oversee that. So the financial statements, I'm looking at those pretty regularly every week, helping a lot on their sales and marketing side, building out their website, helping them stay consistent there. And then still just learning the business, learning what people are looking for when they're going out and purchasing a higher end piece of furniture, what that pricing should look like, what we can do differently to drive those in-home design appointments, what an in-home design appointment looks like. So going out with a designer and learning what do they do, how do we sell that to a customer, how we drive that sort of business. Real estate, there wasn't a huge learning curve there. I've been in that a lot longer, I guess. I've been around that business, but there's still, when you first break into any business, I think there's a learning curve. So that was more like contract and technical related, knowing how to deliver and present a contract to a customer in a way that they feel comfortable with it, and that you can easily know it and explain it. That was probably the biggest.
You have plans on going to Jeff City to do the same thing?
We look at the Jeff market, but it's not growing as fast as Columbia. Columbia's really growing very fast, kind of at an exploding phase right now. Columbia and Ashland, we build in Ashland also. And then a lot of your smaller towns around Columbia are also growing pretty quick, but Jeff doesn't have that same growth path.
You looked out by the new school out here?
I haven't. No.
I didn't know if that would, with the brand new school, if that would be something that people would want to go to.
Yeah, typically, like when you open new schools, those communities around those schools become more popular quicker because people do like having their kids in a community where they could walk to school if they want to go to school, walk to school.
I got another one for you too. So how did, so obviously you said that you took a lot of the inspiration from like Florida, Texas markets and things since you grew up in Florida. So did you immediately know that that's how you were going to differentiate yourself and like kind of get yourself in that one track where the only ones doing this, or did you like really have, did you immediately know I want to be something totally different from everybody else, or was that something, or how, so that, I'm wondering how you kind of like decided you were going to be 100% this is the path of our company, and then also how did you go about educating what was like the potential client base about what you guys do and how different it is? Like how did you get to know about like the model homes and what?
Yeah, absolutely. So, yes, we knew that that's how we were going to be different, just because when you really research the builders in Columbia, you see a very similar style across all of them. They kind of found this style that works, like selling, and stuck with it, and it hasn't changed for several years. As far as knowing like how to educate our customer base or client base, that's difficult, but a lot of it stems from like building a really great website that explains all that. So I did all our website construction. That's helped us a lot. Like home sales is very much so like one-on-one process. So it's when those clients come to the model home, it's knowing how to explain what we do, how we do it, and how it's going to benefit them. So I think one of our biggest selling factors right now is that these clients can get the custom home that they want at the same price as what other builders are charging, but it's going to be completely theirs. And it's not going to be a stressful process where they have to go to 20 different meetings and meet with 20 different vendors to get the house designed. They can get it done in 2 meetings, get it set up before we start construction, we know exactly what we're paying price-wise, they know exactly what's gonna be built, everything's diagrammed out, we have a plan. We approve it all before we start construction, and then when we start construction, that process flows really nice and smoothly unless something comes up that we need to make an adjustment to the plan, or they wanna change something in there.
This is more of a personal one, but is this kind of it right here, or do you plan to maybe merge into like more commercial real estate and stuff like that?
I like commercial a lot. I think in the future we'll probably get into commercial. The plan for really all three of these businesses is to grow and scale together. So kind of how you scale like a home building company is you go and you open divisions in other markets. So
Yeah,
long term, that's the goal. Probably within the next year or two, we want to get into another market
cool.
and kind of grow and expand that way. But we want to expand all three of them at the same time. So if we're going to another market, we want to open a furniture store.
Yeah,
So all three of those can still again work together and be really nice. I mean, there's a lot of home builders across the country that build great houses, but the concept of really having three businesses that work together and really get them from the very beginning all the way to the end when they can be sitting on their brand new couch.
yeah,
It's
pretty
kind of a new
genius,
concept, yeah.
pretty genius.
And it's amazing how well they all flow together. So a lot of our big design jobs are from those happy customers that are building houses, completing their house, and then they're coming back in and love the process of buying the house.
Plus, it takes the headache away of like, you have an awesome client and they want this house, but the furniture store you're working with is, has a couch on back order for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And now your client's mad at you, even though it's not your fault.
Right.
With your furniture store, you can make sure that never happens.
Yeah, and so that's definitely the concept of planning them as three separate
Yeah.
things too.
That's awesome.
Because you can get that and you can get a bigger client too. So if somebody does have a poor experience with Girard Homes, which is never what we want, but we don't want them to associate that with the furniture store or the real estate company, and vice versa. If they have a poor experience with the furniture store, that may or may not be out of our control, we don't want them to associate that.
I mean, just to even jump off that, the way I see it, how cool it is too, is just like, since they do all operate independently, like you always hear about, like with maybe like retailers and stuff, how they, if they talk about like doing like manufacturing in-house or something like that, like how like a lot of people say, well, don't ever worry about doing that because like it's just something else you have to manage. But the only upside is that in that can be found in like your central business, but here like it's like, it's operating independently, where heck, even if it doesn't serve Girard Homes, it's like it can serve people who are just looking for pieces of furniture too.
Absolutely.
You know,
We do get, I mean, the bulk of our business out here is definitely people that aren't associated with Girard Homes. Girard Homes kind of supplements that, which is awesome. And then, especially between those two brands, we drive traffic back and forth between each other really well too. So like other model homes, we're starting to do events every month that are called Wine and Design. And we're gonna invite all the Girard Homes clients and all of the Jasany Home clients out to a model home where they can listen to a designer talk about whatever the topic's gonna be that month. So that's getting them back to our model home, that's giving us another chance to get in front of them and talk about what we do. They're learning more about the furniture store, and then vice versa too. So like, our model homes are all staged by furniture that's from Jasany Home, from the furniture store, obviously, and it's all tagged for sale too. So we're telling our clients, hey, you come back to our model home, you can purchase furniture right off the model home floor, which is also a big thing for them. A lot of times they see it in the house, and that's when they can really visualize it in their own home. So that's kind of the unique thing that we do too.
Yeah, this isn't really a question, but I really think it's cool how you guys do, like, go out your way, like you said, and do measurements for people's homes and stuff, like all that stuff on the house.
Yeah.
I feel like as a, being from a customer standpoint, they'll take a lot of, appreciation in something like that.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a huge part of all three of our businesses, is we really try to go above and beyond. So when we do meet that customer for the first time at Girard Homes, we're already telling them that, hey, we know you have a house to sell. Our goal is to get you into a Girard Home. That's really where we're going to be. So we're going to help you sell that house, do everything we can, and for discount commissions to get them closer to that sale, we're going to do what you can to get you to there, and then giving them that full experience in the furniture store where the design actually comes to their home, identic construction, measuring everything out, laying out their furniture, and then coming back when the furniture arrives and helping them set up is a huge thing. Because a lot of times you can get people to that point, get the furniture delivered, but they still don't have that vision quite right to where they can make it look exactly how they want it to.